He did make some pretty interesting comments about Star Wars in general, about Disney, and not exactly the best kind of comments. And check out some clips. Let's scroll through here and see what we got.
The Force. Nobody, what they do is, and then they started other ones when I sold the company, and they, a lot of those ideas that were in there sort of got lost. But that's the way it is. The Force.
It's just so sad to see. Like, you see it at the very end there. He's just kind of like, it is what it is. And it's funny because if you go back and you look at his Charlie Rose interview, he seems more passionate. He seems like there's like a, it's kind of like the stages of death, like the grieving stages of death. I don't know exactly what they are in order, but some of them are like anger, sadness, negotiation. In the Charlie Rose interviews, he still seems angry. And I think anger is like one of the first stages of grieving. And it's 2024, a decade after the interview, and here he just seems like, he seems accepting. He seems accepting of the situation. He's just kind of like, it almost seems like he just doesn't have that faith.
Nobody understood the Force. Nobody,
like, watch at the very end. Just look at his body language, everything. He's just kind of like, yeah, it is what it is. It's sad, but that's just the reality of the situation.
What they do is, and then they started other ones when I sold the company, and they, a lot of those ideas that were in there sort of got lost. But that's the way it is.
there's just the sadness there, and it's a shame. It's a shame to see. Again, there are things about Disney Star Wars I really like. I really like Rogue One. Bad Batch was awesome. Clone Wars Season 7 was awesome. But I think he's really referring to the movies here. I think the movies for George Lucas is really where the canon content is. That's the holy grail. If you put a number next to the film, that's the holy grail of Star Wars. And I think he's just kind of like, almost kind of like, hey, I sort of gave you guidance. I told you so. You threw my ideas out the window. You threw me out the window. And it is what it is, I don't know for any parents out there, any older siblings out there. It's kind of like, imagine you have those kids, those brothers, those sisters. Maybe if you're a teacher, maybe if you do some sort of work where you're caring for someone and you're investing your time and you're developing them. George Lucas talked about Star Wars as if Star Wars were his children, right? And George Lucas here seems like a parent that has invested their heart and their soul, their goodwill. They invested themselves as people, and they wanted the best for their kids. And their kids just went in a direction that was not necessarily a different route, as in like, oh, I chose a different profession than what my parents wanted, but rather they just became people. They went down a road where they didn't achieve their full potential that their parents knew they could. And their parents know that there's no way they can really rewrite what they've done. And I think that's just the situation for George over here. And shout out to Star Wars Sith for posting that video. Star Wars Sith 66. He's a good dude. Definitely check his channel out if you got a chance. All right, guys, there you have it. Thanks for joining me on this little reaction video to George Lucas' comments at the Cannes Festival. If you like this kind of reaction content, definitely let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video. It helps the channel a lot. Comment, share with your friends. Definitely subscribe. Until next time, may the Force be with you always.